1.do you often start your morning with a ripe, juicy slice of papaya? If so, you're not alone. Every day, millions of people across the United States believe that papaya is a wonderful part of a healthy lifestyle. And they're not wrong. Papaya is one of the most loved tropical fruits, known for its sweet flavor, vibrant color, and rich nutritional content. It's packed with vitamin C, beta-carotene, folate, antioxidants, and natural digestive enzymes. Just 1 cup of chopped papaya, about 5 ounces, can provide nearly 90 milligrams of vitamin C, more than the recommended daily amount for adults. Sounds perfect, right? But hold on. If you're over 50, take medications regularly, or have a sensitive digestive system, that innocent-looking slice of papaya might carry risks you've never thought about. That's exactly what happened to Richard, a retired American living in Arizona. Every morning, he faithfully ate a bowl of papaya with oats, thinking he was doing something great for his health. But after a few weeks, he started feeling discomfort in his stomach. His blood pressure became unstable, and his heart medication didn't seem to work as well. It wasn't until his doctor asked, "Have you been eating papaya regularly?" that things started to make sense. The truth is, papaya wasn't the problem. The issue was how he ate it, how he stored it, and how it interacted with other parts of his lifestyle. Small things that we usually overlook can have big consequences when we don't understand them fully. That's why today, I want to walk you through 7 common mistakes people make when eating papaya. Mistakes that can directly impact your digestion, blood pressure, immune system, and even reproductive health. Some of these might surprise you. And if you think you already know everything about papaya, stay with me. Mistake number 2 might just change your mind. I'm not writing this to scare you or convince you to stop eating papaya. In fact, if you love this fruit, that's even more reason to learn how to enjoy it safely, effectively, and in a way that supports your age and health needs. You see, health isn't about eating the most of something. It's about eating the right thing, at the right time, in the right way. If you've ever seen someone rush to peel a green papaya, toss it into a blender without washing it, then drink it down with a handful of pills, you'll understand why I say even one papaya can be a double-edged sword if we don't know how to use it properly. Especially for older Americans, folks who often live with chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis. Understanding the hidden side effects of certain foods isn't just important, it's necessary. 1 slice of papaya might soothe your belly, but it could also throw off your medication levels or irritate your gut if taken the wrong way. So don't let a food you enjoy become the thing that wears you down. Right now, let's explore step by step the common pitfalls many of us make when it comes to papaya. Whether you're living in sunny Florida, dry Texas, or bustling New York, this information is practical, relevant, and worth knowing. Keep your curiosity, your caution, and your love for your own health. If you find this helpful, feel free to share it with family, friends, or anyone you know who eats papaya regularly. 1 small reminder could help someone avoid a big health problem. 2.7 Dangerous mistakes when eating papaya. 1. Ignoring papaya allergies, a hidden risk you might overlook. Papaya might look completely harmless. Thin skin, bright orange-yellow color. Soft, sweet, and cool flesh. It often shows up on breakfast tables across America from Florida to California. But there's something people rarely talk about. Papaya allergies are real. And if you're not paying attention, they can cause serious trouble even if you've never had a reaction to any fruit before. One of the main reasons papaya can trigger a reaction is papain, a natural enzyme found in both the flesh and seeds. Papain helps break down proteins, aids digestion, and is even used in some digestive supplements and meat tenderizers. But in certain people, papain can overstimulate the immune system, leading to allergy symptoms. You might start with a mild itch in your mouth. Then your lips could swell, or your throat might feel irritated or slightly burning when swallowing. In more serious cases, you could develop hives, stomach pain, nausea, or in rare but dangerous situations, anaphylaxis, a life-threatening allergic reaction. What's concerning is this. Most people don't even suspect papaya as the cause, because it doesn't belong to the typical red flag fruits like strawberries, peanuts, or shellfish. But allergic reactions to papaya are still regularly reported in allergy clinics and emergency rooms across the U.S. An allergy specialist in Oregon, Dr. Martha Reynolds, shared the story of a patient named Linda, 64, who used to eat papaya every week. One morning, she had just half a cup, about 2.5 ounces of sliced papaya. Within 15 minutes, her tongue felt numb, her lips swelled, and she had mild trouble breathing. She thought it was the weather. But the next time, the reaction was stronger. She had to take antihistamines and visit the ER. Tests later confirmed she was allergic to papain, even though she'd always been healthy before. Especially if you have a known allergy to latex, you should be extra cautious. There's a condition called latex fruit syndrome, which means people allergic to latex may also react to certain fruits like papaya, avocado, banana, or kiwi. The reason is that the proteins in these fruits are similar to those found in natural latex, causing the immune system to confuse and react. In other words, if you've ever had a rash after wearing rubber gloves or reacted to latex products, be mindful when eating papaya. Clinical studies from Stanford University found that people with a history of latex allergy are 4 times more likely to be allergic to papaya than those without. And here's something important. Allergic reactions don't always happen the first time. You might eat papaya for months with no problem. Then one day, your body reaches a tipping point and reacts more strongly. This is especially common in older adults, as the immune system tends to change with age. If you've ever noticed an itchy mouth, a swollen throat, or mild stomach pain after eating papaya, don't brush it off. That's not just regular indigestion. It could be your body's early warning sign. The best move is to stop eating and monitor your symptoms. If you notice hives, swelling, or breathing difficulties, contact your doctor right away. And if needed, your doctor may recommend allergy testing, either skin prick or blood test, to confirm the cause. In some cases, if there's a risk of severe reaction, your doctor might suggest carrying an epinephrine auto-injector just in case of emergency. Though rare, for older adults with underlying conditions, no reaction should be taken lightly. In short, papaya is a wonderful fruit, but like any food, it's not perfectly safe for everyone. If your body reacts, take it as a kind warning. And the smartest thing you can do is listen. 2. Combining papaya with certain medications is a silent but risky mistake. Many people believe that if a fruit is healthy, eating it alongside medication shouldn't be a problem. But in reality, things are a bit more complicated. Papaya is a perfect example. It's tasty, nutritious, and easy to digest. But when paired with certain prescription medications, especially heart drugs, blood thinners, and diabetes treatments, the results can be unexpectedly harmful. Did you know that just 1 cup of chopped papaya, about 5 ounces, contains around 3 micrograms of vitamin K? That might seem like a small amount, but if you eat it daily, the total amount of vitamin K in your body can increase significantly. This matters a lot if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, a common medication for Americans over 60. Warfarin works by reducing the blood's ability to clot, helping prevent strokes and dangerous clots. However, vitamin K has the opposite effect. It promotes clotting. So if you add more vitamin K through foods like papaya, warfarin might not work as intended. As a result, your blood may clot too quickly, or in some cases, if the dosage is off, it may become too thin, raising the risk of internal bleeding or easy bruising. One such case involved Joseph, 71, who lives in Nevada. He decided to change his breakfast and added papaya to his daily routine after watching a health segment on TV. After 2 weeks, he started experiencing bleeding gums and noticed blood in his urine. His doctor found that the slight increase in vitamin K had disrupted his warfarin balance. He had to adjust his medication, all because of a few slices of papaya. Papaya doesn't just contain vitamin K. It also has papain, a powerful enzyme that breaks down proteins. Papain is great for digestion, but it can also boost the strength of certain drugs, especially non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, and blood thinners. So if you're taking aspirin, naproxen, or clopidogrel, papain might make these drugs stronger than expected. This could lead to stomach bleeding, mild abdominal pain, or fatigue without a clear reason. There's another important detail. Papaya has a mild laxative effect. That means if you eat too much, your digestive system may speed up. When digestion moves faster, some oral medications, especially those designed for slow absorption, might not be absorbed fully. This could affect medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or hormone therapy. Imagine you just took a pill to regulate your blood sugar. 10 minutes later, you drink a papaya smoothie. If your digestion speeds up, the pill could pass through too quickly before it has a chance to work. You might notice your blood sugar going up or feel dizzy and tired without knowing why. And this isn't rare. Older adults, especially those taking multiple medications, are the most likely to be affected. As we age, our digestion slows, and how we process drugs changes too. In short, papaya is a healthy fruit, but not harmless when combined with medication. Interactions can happen even with small amounts, especially if eaten daily. So if you're managing a chronic condition and regularly eat papaya, pay attention to how your body responds. And always remember, even natural foods can interfere with medication if not used the right way. 3. Eating too much papaya when so good turns into not so good. We often hear the saying, if something is good, more of it must be better. But when it comes to food, especially superfruits like papaya, that's not always true. Papaya is truly a gift from nature. It's rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, fiber, folate, and natural digestive enzymes. A medium slice of ripe papaya, about 1 cup or 5 ounces, offers an impressive range of nutrients, from supporting vision to boosting immunity and soothing the stomach. But what happens if you eat 2 cups or 3 and do that every single day? The answer isn't simply more benefits. In reality, it could trigger a chain of reactions that leave you feeling unwell. Let's start with fiber. The fiber in papaya is great for digestion. It helps regulate bowel movements, clean the colon, and fight constipation. But if you take in too much fiber over a short time, your digestive system can become overwhelmed. The most common symptoms are bloating, gas, diarrhea, or mild abdominal cramps. Many people mistake these for signs of detoxing, but in truth, they're your body telling you you've gone too far. One of my patients, Susan, age 68, from South Carolina, used to eat papaya every evening after dinner to sleep better. At first, she had about half a cup. After a few weeks, she increased it to 2 cups because it tasted good and felt light on her stomach. But soon, she started experiencing prolonged diarrhea, dull abdominal pain, and a loss of appetite. Tests found no bacteria or parasites. The simple cause was too much papaya, too much fiber, and too many enzymes. The enzyme papain in papaya, helpful for digestion, can irritate the stomach lining if consumed in excess. You might feel heartburn, acid reflux, or a burning sensation in your belly, especially if you have a history of ulcers or GERD. Another little-known side effect is carotenemia. Papaya is high in beta-carotene, the orange pigment that gives it its signature color. If you consume too much beta-carotene over time, this pigment can build up in your bloodstream. Your skin, especially your palms, the backs of your hands, and your face, may take on a yellow tint. Although carotenemia isn't dangerous and usually goes away after a few weeks without papaya, it often causes people to confuse it with liver disease or jaundice. Also, some people believing in folk remedies assume that papaya can cure arthritis, diabetes, or even prevent cancer. They start eating large amounts as an alternative therapy, skipping proper medical care. That's a serious risk. No fruit, not even papaya, can replace a doctor's prescription. So how much is just right? For healthy adults, 1 cup of papaya a day, about 5 ounces, is the ideal amount. This gives you all the antioxidants, enzymes, and vitamins you need without the unwanted side effects. If you have digestive issues or take medication, try splitting your portion, maybe just half a cup in the morning or every other day. Don't let a good food become a burden on your body. Moderation, not excess, is the key to keeping your body healthy and your digestion in balance. For eating unripe papaya, a gentle trap with hidden risks. Have you ever seen a green papaya, firm and fresh, looking like it was just picked from the backyard? It looks perfectly healthy, doesn't it? But don't rush to cut and eat it just yet. Because if the papaya isn't fully ripe, your body may not handle it as gently as you expect. Green papaya, meaning papaya that hasn't ripened, has a very different chemical makeup compared to its ripe, golden orange version. And this difference can directly affect how your body reacts after eating it. Let's start with papain, the natural enzyme that papaya is known for. When the fruit is still green, the level of papain is much higher. Papain can help digestion when used appropriately. But if you consume too much papain from raw, unripe papaya, especially on an empty stomach, you might feel burning, nausea, or mild stomach discomfort. Some people may even experience acid reflux, diarrhea, or ongoing stomach cramps, especially if their digestive system is sensitive. It's not just papain. Green papaya also releases a thick, milky sap often found near the stem or the skin when you cut it. This sap, known as natural latex, contains a mix of enzymes and compounds that can irritate the body, and in pregnant women, it can trigger uterine contractions. A study published in the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology once warned that women in their first trimester of pregnancy should avoid green papaya. Some of the compounds in latex may increase the risk of miscarriage or early labor, especially in those with a history of pregnancy complications. There's a clear example from Emily, a 32-year-old living in Austin, Texas. She was pregnant with her first child and decided to eat clean by switching to more natural foods. One day, she made a Thai-style green papaya salad at home, following a recipe from an online video. 2 hours later, she felt unusual abdominal pain and light spotting. Doctors determined that it was a uterine reaction caused by natural latex from the raw, unripe papaya. Of course, in many Asian dishes like green papaya salad or stews, the papaya is either cooked thoroughly or soaked in vinegar. Heat or acidic treatment like vinegar helps break down those strong enzymes, making the dish safer for your digestive system. But eating raw, unripe papaya that hasn't been properly prepared, especially in salads, smoothies, or fresh slices, can be a silent mistake. So how do you know when a papaya is ripe? It's actually quite simple. Check the skin. If most of it has turned golden orange, with fewer green patches, that's a good sign. Gently press the skin with your fingers. If it gives a little under pressure without feeling mushy, it's ready to eat. A ripe papaya will also have a sweet, tropical fragrance. If there's no scent at all, it's probably still unripe. And if the skin is green, hard, and doesn't bounce back, hold off on eating it. Here's a quick tip. To ripen a green papaya naturally, place it next to a ripe banana in a paper bag at room temperature. In about 2 to 3 days, the papaya will ripen evenly without needing any extra help. In short, eating ripe papaya lets you enjoy sweet flavor, easy digestion, and plenty of nutrients. But eating unripe papaya can bring unnecessary risks from stomach trouble to pregnancy concerns. So be patient and wait another day. Ripeness doesn't just make it tastier, it's what turns papaya into a true partner for your health. 5. Throwing away papaya seeds. You might be wasting a nutritional treasure. When we cut open a papaya, most of us do the same thing. Slice it in half, scoop out the black seeds, and toss them straight into the trash. Those little round, slightly sticky seeds don't look appealing at all. They're not sweet, not soft, and they don't smell like the juicy flesh of the fruit. So we tend to treat them as something extra, not worth keeping. But here's the surprise. Papaya seeds are actually one of the most nutritious parts of the fruit. They carry health benefits that very few people pay attention to. Papaya seeds contain many natural enzymes, including papain, just like the flesh. Papain supports digestion, especially helpful if you often feel bloated, sluggish, or uncomfortable after meals. In addition, the seeds also contain carpain, a plant-based compound with natural antibacterial and antiparasitic properties. A 2013 study from a group of scientists in Texas showed that papaya seed extract can fight off E. coli, Salmonella, and Staphylococcus aureus, 3 common bacteria that often upset the digestive system in older adults. Put simply, if your gut tends to give you trouble, a small daily amount of papaya seeds might be a natural, easy, and affordable solution. But that's not all. Papaya seeds also contain healthy fats like oleic acid and palmitic acid, which support heart health and cell function. They also provide fiber and plant-based protein, helping to balance blood sugar and keep the bowels moving smoothly. Here's another interesting bonus. Papaya seeds have a peppery, slightly spicy flavor very similar to black pepper. That's why many people now dry and grind them to use as a spice alternative full of flavor and good for your health. Margaret, age 67, from Oregon, tried this method herself. After watching a local health segment, she started saving her papaya seeds. She washed them, let them dry, and ground them up in her coffee grinder. After a few weeks, she sprinkled the powder on salads, soups, and even breakfast dishes. Not only did she enjoy the taste, but she also said her digestion felt noticeably smoother, no more heaviness or bloating. However, like any food, papaya seeds need to be consumed in reasonable amounts. Why? Because aside from the beneficial compounds, papaya seeds also contain benzyl isothiocyanate and carpane. Both are biologically active. Too much of them may put strain on the liver and kidneys, especially for those with weaker liver function. Some animal studies have even suggested that excessive intake could affect fertility, though human evidence is still limited. So how much is just right? For healthy adults, about 1 teaspoon of ground papaya seeds a day, roughly 2 to 3 grams, is considered safe and effective. You can eat them directly, sprinkle on meals, or blend them into smoothies if you want to tone down the spicy flavor. If you've never tried them before, start with half a teaspoon, observe how your body responds, and then slowly increase if needed. Children, pregnant women, or anyone with liver conditions should consult a doctor before using papaya seeds regularly. In short, papaya seeds aren't just leftovers. They're a forgotten nutritional gem, and with the right use and the right amount, they can be a valuable part of your daily diet, especially as we age and our bodies need more natural support to stay strong and healthy. 6. Storing papaya the wrong way, a hidden risk from small habits. When we talk about fruit, most of us think about eating. Very few people really think about how to store it. And with papaya, soft, juicy, and sweet fruit, the way you store it can directly affect your health. Papaya is not like apples or oranges. It spoils easily if kept in the wrong place, and just one small mistake can turn a nutritious fruit into a perfect home for bacteria. First, let's understand the natural nature of papaya. A ripe papaya contains about 88% water and a high amount of natural sugar. That's why temperature, humidity, and light are 3 things you need to pay attention to. If you bring home a green papaya, firm skin, deep green color, and no scent, leave it at room temperature. The best place is dry, away from direct sunlight, and don't seal it in a plastic bag. After 2 to 3 days, when the skin turns golden orange, becomes softer, and gives off a light fragrance, it's naturally ripe and it's time to change how you store it. At this point, the papaya should go into the refrigerator. At around 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius, the ripening slows down and the fruit stays fresh for 5 to 7 days if left whole. But if it's already cut, you have just 2 to 3 days to finish it. And remember, it should be stored in an airtight container, not left open, because papaya easily absorbs odors from nearby food. One common mistake is this. You cut the papaya, eat a portion, and leave the rest on the kitchen counter without sealing it or refrigerating it. Just a few hours later, especially in warm, humid weather, the surface can begin to grow bacteria. Names like Salmonella and Listeria aren't unfamiliar. They can get into the papaya if you didn't wash the skin, or from dirty knives, cutting boards, or hands. These bacteria don't need much time to grow. According to the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, perishable foods like cut fruit should not be kept at room temperature for more than 2 hours. If it's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, around 32 degrees Celsius, the limit is just 1 hour. The story of James, 74, from Florida, is a good reminder. He often cut papaya early in the morning and left it in a plastic container on the table for lunch. One day, after eating papaya that had been sitting out for hours, he developed stomach pain, diarrhea, and a mild fever. Doctors diagnosed mild food poisoning caused by bacteria growing on fruit that wasn't properly chilled. Another mistake is storing papaya next to foods with strong odors like onions, raw fish, or cheese. Papaya absorbs smells very easily, which can ruin its natural flavor. It's best to keep it in the fruit drawer, away from raw or pungent items. Also, avoid freezing ripe papaya if you plan to eat it fresh. Freezing breaks down the cell structure, making the papaya mushy and less flavorful. Only freeze it if you plan to use it in smoothies or for cooking later. In short, storing papaya the right way not only preserves its sweet taste, it also protects you from unnecessary health risks. With just a few simple steps like placing it in the right spot, using sealed containers, and watching the clock, you help this fruit deliver its full nutritional value, instead of becoming a host for harmful bacteria. 7. Not washing the skin before cutting, a small mistake with big consequences. Have you ever looked at a papaya, saw its thick, clean-looking skin, and thought to yourself, "No need to wash it. I'm not eating the peel anyway"? That thought is very common, and it's one of the main reasons why many people get food poisoning without knowing why. The truth is, papaya skin can carry bacteria, pesticides, and even microscopic traces of animal waste. You can't see them, you can't smell them, but they're there clinging to the surface from the time the fruit is picked, through transport, display at the store, and finally into your kitchen. And here's the real concern. When you slice through that unwashed skin, you're unknowingly dragging those bacteria from the outside straight into the flesh. The knife acts like a bridge. Whatever's on the skin transfers to the blade, and then right into the piece you're about to eat. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) has reported multiple outbreaks of salmonella and listeria linked to fresh fruits, including papaya. These bacteria can cause symptoms like stomach cramps, diarrhea, fever, and nausea. They're especially dangerous for older adults, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems. Brian, age 65, from New Mexico, is a clear example. He ate papaya every week and always sliced it without washing. One morning after breakfast, he developed sharp stomach pain and ended up in the ER. The diagnosis was food poisoning from salmonella traced back to a piece of papaya that looked clean but had never been washed. And it's not just about bacteria. Papayas grown in tropical areas are often sprayed with pesticides and protective chemicals to prevent pests. If you don't wash the skin well, pesticide residue can stick to your hands or be carried into the fruit by the knife. Some of these chemicals, if you're exposed repeatedly, can affect hormones, liver function, or the nervous system, according to research from the Environmental Working Group (EWG). So how do you wash it the right way? First, rinse the papaya under cool running water, no need to soak. Use a soft brush or a produce scrubber to gently clean the surface. You don't need soap, clean water, and a little scrubbing is enough to remove most bacteria and dirt. Then dry the papaya with a clean towel or paper napkin before cutting. That step helps prevent dirty water from dripping into the fruit. Don't forget your hands, knife, and cutting board should also be clean. Ideally, use a separate knife and board just for fresh fruit, not the same ones used for raw meat or fish. For older adults, these small steps can make a big difference. Weaker digestion and slower immune response mean even a tiny amount of bacteria can cause uncomfortable symptoms. We can't control the whole supply chain from the farm to our table, but we can control that last step right in our own kitchen. And taking just 1 minute to rinse your papaya before cutting could save you from several days of avoidable illness. 3. Conclusion: let every bite of papaya be a smart choice for your health. When eaten the right way, papaya is truly a gift from nature. It's not just tasty and refreshing, it also brings real benefits to your digestion, immune system, skin, and even heart health. But like any natural food, papaya has two sides. One side is packed with nutrition. The other holds hidden risks if you don't fully understand how to eat it, how to choose it, and how to store it properly. There are many common mistakes we tend to make, like eating too much, not washing the skin, storing it wrong, or combining it with certain medications. They might seem small, but they can lead to serious consequences, especially for people with sensitive digestion, those taking medications, pregnant women, or older adults. The good news is, you can absolutely avoid those risks. All it takes is a few small changes in your daily habits. Just remember, eating the right amount, at the right time, and in the right way will help papaya give you its full value. Choose naturally ripe papayas golden yellow, slightly soft to the touch, and gently fragrant. Avoid green papayas, especially if you're not planning to cook them. If you eat it raw, don't forget to wash the skin under running water, dry it before cutting, and always use clean knives and cutting boards. If you're taking medication, especially blood thinners, blood pressure medicine, diabetes drugs, or anti-inflammatories, ask your doctor before eating papaya regularly. Not to avoid it completely, but to adjust your portion to match your current health needs. As for the seeds, instead of tossing them out, you can dry and grind them and use them as a seasoning. But keep it moderate. No more than 1 teaspoon a day if you're a healthy adult. For children, pregnant women, or people with liver conditions, it's best to check with a health professional first. And most importantly, always listen to your body. If you notice anything unusual after eating papaya, from bloating, mild discomfort, or throat itchiness to stronger reactions, stop and speak to your doctor. Your body is always speaking to you. The question is whether we're patient enough to listen. You don't need to be a nutrition expert to eat well. You just need to care enough about your health and be open to learning something new. The fact that you're here, reading this, that's already a big step forward. If you found this information helpful, don't hesitate to share it with your loved ones, friends, or anyone you know who eats papaya regularly. A small conversation, a gentle reminder could help someone avoid an unnecessary health issue. Let this knowledge live beyond you and reach those around you. Because when you stay healthy, you don't just live better for yourself. You become a source of strength and inspiration for the people you love every single day.